So I was it is magical theory podcast time. Jeff was like, "Oh, do we have our wands?" And I was like, no, but here's what I can offer you. One little, it's really cute. I like it. I don't want to use it a lot because I don't want the ink
Is
to
it a
run out.
pen?
It's a
Oh, okay.
pen. Yeah, it's a little Hermione pen. So I can,
Doodle.
yep,
Doodle your spells. You have to make
doodle.
up spells.
Yep, that's
That's
how that
magical
works. So
theory.
we have new background. Yes, this is the compromise for the. Actually, it looks pretty good. I wasn't sure if the green screen would fit the two-person setup, but we figured out a way to make it work.
Yeah,
And
good
now
job.
look, it goes through. Well, my hand doesn't go through, but you see the background. This is our magical theory background. That for
From a while ago.
I don't know. I don't know if I
Remember
when I started it.
the first like
Oh my
10
gosh.
episodes we were
Yes.
doing.
We change the background every single
Yeah.
time. What fools? Why would
That
you
was a
do
lot.
that?
That was a lot. It was a process.
Why would you do that? Like, oh yeah, let's change the background. No, just have one background and that's your theme.
It's been like a what is it? 2 weeks since we did it? Is it 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. We went out of town and then we didn't stream last week, so yeah, it's
So what
been
has been
a
happening
while.
since then? Lots of
Well,
calamity.
I was gonna say, I was gonna start with Critical Role actually because we have watched so much Critical Role. Um, if you aren't familiar, it is a live action Dungeons and Dragons, I can speak, live action. No, that's actual play, live action. It's not live
That would be
action.
awesome.
That would be epic. It's an actual play Dungeons and Dragons show that airs every Thursday. I feel like I'm doing a promo spot for them. Twitch.tv
They
slash
need it. They
critical
really
role.
need to get the word out. I
No.
feel like.
Yeah, so they have been doing, they're in campaign 3, their third campaign in this world that has been consistent. But in their world, there was a calamity that happened like thousands of years ago, like ancient history. And so they did a short series that was around that time, leading up to the events that uh, I guess set off. I don't know. We have this age of calamitous activity in their world. So we watched that. It was 4 episodes.
6? 4?
I think it was
Oh.
4. No, Kenobi was 6. We
Ah,
also watched that. Usually when we start off the intros, it's like, what have we watched recently?
yeah, that's pretty
Oh
much
my
it.
gosh.
Because the
Hello, hello,
circle is
hello.
over, so
Oh my god, the circle. The circle. Critical Role is a small indie channel.
yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, so we've been catching up on some shows. Only Murders in the Building is coming out this week, I think.
Excellent.
Actually, I think it's the 28th. Wait, what's today? 2 days. On Tuesday, we get to watch some murders. Not murders.
Excellent.
It's a mystery
Well, there was a murder. There has been another murder.
in Savannah. Yeah. I don't know what else is. It's hot. I mean, we know this. It's summertime in the northern hemisphere,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
I believe when I looked at the forecast, 107, 108 were the highs for the next 5 days.
Okay.
106, I think.
It's not like
105 might have
it's
been the
not ideal,
coolest.
but I did the past 2 mornings put my feet in the pool in the morning, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Before it
Uh,
gets too sunny.
Winnie is sad he hasn't been getting so many of his walks, but it's like, buddy, it's 1,000 degrees
It's too
outside.
hot.
It's a
It's too
thousand.
hot for a dog.
Oh man, I would love for an 84
I'd
degrees.
pass out.
Though I understand in like places where summer is different in different places. So like in Michigan summer, I like Michigan summer.
Yeah. Well, very much so.
Well. We don't watch Stranger Things actually. I know several people do. But yeah, lots of TV trying to cool off. We have a poll actually going up if you're watching live right now. We have the theme, the password for today is
Thestral.
Thestral. And that's what we pulled several weeks ago and are finally getting to it. I released the series of clues very slowly over time. But the question poll that we have up that you can vote in is which of these we're going to talk about mounts actually is going to be the Hogwarts Legacy connection here. Which of these mounts would you want in Hogwarts Legacy? And I know that this poll is probably stacked and unfair because one of the options I said, who wouldn't want to ride that? So we have Hippogriff, we have Thestral, we have Dragon, and we have other share in chat, which I do think that Cindy shared. Can I go up? Can I go up? Can I go up? There we go. Abraxan. Abraxan is an option. So yeah, flying creatures, mounts.
Jeanette had to remind me what those were.
What?
Abraxans.
Oh, the Abraxan winged horse. Yeah, I think in the Wizards Unite entry, it literally said Abraxan winged horse.
Yes, I believe that it did. I couldn't remember. It was like in my brain, but it was
yeah.
bouncing around.
There's lots of creatures.
Also, I bit my tongue on many Calamity Constance jokes as we were talking about. Well, we made several.
Anytime the word calamity comes up in any context, it is Constance's calamity. She did it.
I will never not.
Okay, well, she didn't do it, but it's her. It's her life. Her life is a calamity. Oh my gosh. I win. Yeah, so the clues that I gave, I started ultra broad. I mean, it was narrow in the sense of like, I guess things can fall under, it was death. So death was the first clue.
Yeah.
Then creature, which many people were coming up with very creative answers, and I was like, oh yeah, I like it. And then the final clue was skeletal, which people were saying in fairy, which I was like, oh yeah, which we actually, there is a shot of Inferi.
Yes, there is.
In the Hogwarts Legacy. It's actually the first trailer. It's back to back. It's a shot of Inferi like walking down this dark hallway with the glowing eyes. And then the next shot is Dementors swarming through what looks to be Azkaban. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm actually very excited for that. I really want to.
I think they use turn undead. Let's go, Josh.
I want to encounter them. So yeah, the Thestral talk for today is about taming and mounting magical creatures in Hogwarts Legacy, and I put a bunch of links down in the description so you can see all of my sources that I'm pulling from. The
researcher.
Yes, I know. I try. I put the wiki. I usually try to avoid the wiki unless it's to find the original source. Like, that's usually my approach is I try to find original sources. So I go to Hogwarts Legacy based post, and then I go to Wizarding World official post,
Thanks,
and then I go to other posts. Oh my God, Jeff's mic was not on this entire time.
Yeah, but I talk loud enough that it was just popping around.
Can you hear him now?
Can you hear me now?
I thought that we tested it.
Yep.
Okay, well.
I shut it on.
Professionals. Okay, restart. We didn't get to hear anything.
Calamity.
No, just kidding.
Constance, Calamity, Abraxan winged horses, death. Now we're on to death.
Anyway, so the Hogwarts Legacy Q&A, if you go to their website, which they have changed the Q&A before. So I did a video a while back that after the State of Play, they updated the Q&A. So I did a comparison because I made a video when they announced it in 2020. Mm-hmm. And so I went to the Q&A. So I had like documented evidence of what it actually said then. And then they changed it. But one of the updated, I think this was updated. The question is, can players ride magical beasts in Hogwarts Legacy? Players can tame, mount, and ride some magical beast in Hogwarts Legacy is the answer.
Give me dragons.
There you have it. Okay, you could hear him. That's good. That's good.
Chinese fireball.
And I already mentioned, and I think we talked about this already, but well, we did a frame by frame analysis. We saw this. We are feeding a baby Thestral actually in the State of Play trailer. And the baby Thestral is next to two adult Thestrals that are just, chilling in the background. And it's the voiceover in the trailer says something. Actually, I have the quote. It says, if you're feeling benevolent, you can rescue them, the magical creatures, and restore them to health in the room of requirement.
I often feel benevolent, so I shall do that.
If you're not feeling benevolent, well join the poachers, I guess.
My Avada only run. Where I will be playing an evil character. I will not be benevolent.
What are you gonna do? Don't
Oh, you know
harm
what?
baby beast.
You know what would also be good instead of the Avada only?
Uh-huh.
The oh shoot. What's that thing? What's the plant that screams?
Oh, Mandrake.
Mandrake. 'Cause we saw
Okay.
that. Just
A
and
run, yeah,
only
a
use
run where
that. Just that.
you only
You think
pierce,
it works against
you
the
make
bosses?
people's ears bleed
I have
out.
doubts.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But you pointed out as we were talking about
uh-huh.
this yesterday, this means it kind of implies that our character has witnessed death.
Yeah, so let's talk about Thestrals and what they are. Of course, I have to look at etymology any chance I can. So the name Thestral comes from the archaic English word thester, meaning dark or gloomy. And
Interesting.
there's a suffix dash al, or like the ending is al, which is of or pertaining to. Very, very broad, but so of or pertaining to dark or gloom. So we know what they look like. They are black. They are skeletal. It looks kind of like a horse. It's described as having like a dragon-like face, but also bat wings. Is like so. It's like very kind. I don't know. Has anyone voted for Thestral in the poll yet? One person. I'm assuming one
A hero, a
person.
true hero, the
Congratulations.
wisest of us all.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel that the Thestral, to me, has
Uh-huh.
always represented like the wisdom of experiencing something that
Mm.
somebody can't tell you or prepare you for
Yeah.
fully. Including witnessing death, obviously dying itself, but like
Yeah.
witnessing
Yeah.
it for the first time
Yeah.
changes you.
I don't know what it would be like to ride a Thestral. It
Well, if you
feels
can
like
see
it
it,
would
it'd be
be.
okay.
Yeah, no, but like it's
Same as hippogriff,
bony. It's I
Ah,
guess you
okay,
can put
yeah,
a
bony,
saddle on it.
bony.
I don't know. I
You can
guess
saddle
they
up?
don't put saddles on the magical creatures. I don't know. It is native though to
There's
the
probably some kind of balm to help with
yeah.
chafing.
Oh yeah, they're magic.
Yeah, it's
They have
magical.
like the cushioning
There's cushioning
thing
charm. There you go.
on
Plenty comfortable.
brooms. Oh my gosh. Come on, Lynette, they're magic. Native to the British
Are you a wizard or
Isles
not?
and Ireland, but it's also
Native to the British Isles. How did they discover this?
I don't know,
Nobody
maybe a bunch
died
of people
before
died.
Britain.
But it's also been spotted in France and the Iberian Peninsula, and I quote, there's like a little segment in the entry on Thestrals that says other parts of the world have their own equivalent to Thestrals, which I find very
Whoa.
interesting because I didn't know that. So
No.
now I'm curious about
Ooh.
what those other.
And why are there different ones?
Yeah,
This is very interesting.
I
Maybe they
don't
were
know.
created.
Well, I wonder if part of the is there something about horse like a horse that is I was gonna say that is like I
Mhm.
don't know connected to this region of the world. I'm not sure because I'm thinking about
Panacea. You think
other.
wizards believe in panacea? Or what was it called? Pangea? Pangea. Where
Oh my
all the
god.
continents were one.
Yeah, let's go off on in that rabbit hole. No, I'm not sure. I there's no details about what those other equivalents are, but
This is
because
very
is it
interesting.
like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I don't have answers for that. Also, second is that they are carnivorous. So I thought we were just feeding. I mean, I guess we feed Winston kibble that is meat or flavored, or
It
it's
has
made
some
with
meat
meat
in
in
there,
it.
yeah.
So I was like, are we feeding pellets of like just meat chunks to the Thestral?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know.
Some meat chunks.
It's just some dried out meat. Who knows where it's from? And so, to your point of talking about death, Thestrals are only visible to those who have witnessed death, but there's
Yes.
actually a caveat. So, it's not enough to just see death. You have to emotionally come to an understanding.
Well, that makes it to me even more connected to wisdom. Because we had these conversations before as well of like, is it only human death?
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
does that line get drawn?
yeah.
What if it's, yeah.
Your
So
pet
there's a lot of,
dies, and you have to like.
what if a human gets permanently transfigured into, let's say, a ferret, and then that
Oh,
ferret dies? Then can you see a
permanently.
thestral?
Oh my
So it
gosh.
feels like it's less, like you're saying, it's less about seeing it and more about processing what it means.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So Thestrals are very
I would ride a
important.
thestral. It's a super cool mount. If dragon wasn't an option in the poll, I would have selected
Yeah, okay,
Thestral.
so game-wise, I think that it would look very
It's gonna look
cool.
really cool.
Like,
But so will dragons. So
well,
come on,
yeah, no,
if
I
we
mean,
can ride them.
my thing is that you'll probably have access to ride a Thestral earlier than
This is
figuring out how to
probably
tame and ride a
true,
dragon.
Probably true. What
Uh-huh.
about like the big dragon with the blue in its chest that we see in the
Oh,
trailer and be like, I want to ride that one.
yeah, good luck. He was
I'm not gonna
screaming at
fight it.
you.
No, it was laughing.
It was screaming at
Oh,
you.
it's just,
Historically, witches and wizards, Thestrals have been misunderstood historically. So witches and
Hmm.
wizards thought that they were unlucky or signs of bad omens
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So, fun facts: they are found in dark environments. So we will likely encounter Thestrals in a place like the Forbidden Forest. But it makes me wonder though, because it said like the room of requirement. So I wonder if like part of it is you rescue them
Yeah, we have to like
and
bring
care
it
for
there,
them.
and then we raise it. So I think we'll probably bring babies there
Little
and then raise
babies.
them.
Yeah, you gotta save the babies.
Because that whole thing about the room of requirement like was a lot of timer based stuff. So I imagine the animal based part has timer based stuff as well.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Pokemon. You like put them in the little
I
trainer
choose
area
you.
and it
Oh.
trains them up. You remember that?
Yeah,
You
no, I know.
used that.
I
like,
thought
a
you meant like
ton.
catching them.
And then
but-
you went back and it was like, oh yeah, you're maximum.
Oh, I put the Pokemon in the daycare all the
Been there
time,
for
and
4
then I would
years.
like ride my bike back and forth on this like because it's based on distance, so I just go back and forth on the little Game Boy on like this long stretch of road to like try to.
Yeah.
I tried to hack it. I tried to hack
Appropriate
it.
zoological environment. Yeah, there was some comments on,
Mhm.
in the room of requirement. There's the one that we see with what's the little house elf's name?
Not Dobby.
Glick or Google,
uh,
and and it like opens up in the back. So like in that
Gene. No,
that,
I don't
like,
know. What is his name?
whole room facing one, you see it. It's in the back, and like you see it expand. But then Deke.
Deke.
Thank you. Then there seems to be one on either side that seem like of the same character to me, where it's like you
Yes, yeah,
like an
yeah.
underwater one, and
Mhm,
then maybe like a
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah, so like
a Bavarian.
you know,
or-
like Newt has the different
Yeah.
biomes in his suitcase. Like some sort of inspiration related to that,
yeah.
I feel. Other fun facts, even though we don't have it with us because it's somewhere else. The Elder Wand, the core is a thestral hair.
Rumored to be, yes. No.
No, it's actually it's on
Confirmed?
yes, it's on
'Cause
I have in one of
Gorovitch
the
studied it?
links below. Or wait, is it confirmed? I think it was on one of the original versions of the website of J.K. Rowling's website that has like additional facts. I don't know if it's mentioned anywhere else. Also mentioned is that the thestral core is a tricky substance that only wizards that mastered death can control, which I guess would make sense for something like the Elder
Ooh.
Wand.
Master of Death.
Also, trained thestrals. So yeah, we're making the argument for caring for and mounting a thestral. Trained thestrals were smart enough to understand their rider's words when they asked to travel to a specific location. So you can have like little
That's
best
what
friends.
happens in Order of the Phoenix. They somehow know how to get to the ministry.
They lived in herds. They understand riders. They also appear to be loyal creatures, able to discern a friend from an enemy. So let's
Here's
battle.
Now we're gonna go down. So Cindy quoted this about
do it.
the Elder Wand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Voldemort can see Thestrals?
You know, okay, so one of the links in the description is what is it called? It's a feature. When did characters first start seeing Thestrals? And it's not about the people we know confirmed who can see Thestrals. It's about potential for other people. So like Dumbledore, McGonagall, Snape.
Ron after
Voldemort is
Threat
on
alert.
there. Oh gosh.
Ronald.
Well, part of it is also like there must be some like time period. It's not like instantaneous.
Well,
where it's,
Voldemort
like,
wouldn't be there, right? Because he hasn't processed it. And he
he
certainly hasn't accepted death. He
yeah.
rejects it wholeheartedly.
It's an interesting idea. I mean, that's his whole thing. The thing that drives him is his fear of
Yeah.
death.
Mm-hmm.
So, potentially
Totally.
not.
Totally.
Do you think that wait, okay, I was going to say, do you think he could sense them or like read their minds?
Thestrals?
Yeah.
No.
Or
I
any
mean, I think he
creature?
probably knows that they exist, but
Can
he's
you
probably
read
afraid of them.
can legilimens read creatures' minds?
Yeah, but it's just.
Oh yeah, it's like when I try to um like kins in D&D when I try to like speak with animals and like you have to have yeah, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, so Thestrals could be domesticated and mounted. We are aware of this. And they are, I mean, they can be a means of travel. We have seen evidence of this as well.
Hmm.
So, what are some other mounts or creatures? I'm going to check the poll one more time. We have 41% of votes. People want to have a flying mount of a dragon, and I don't blame you because that's pretty epic. What are some others? Are you sharing in the chat? What other mounts would you
I'd
want?
say Braxton was one, but
The
I didn't
Abraxan
see
was
another one.
one.
Hippogriff,
Hippogriff. Yeah,
29% on
29% hippogriff.
hip hop.
Hip hop, hippity hop. So we have the hippogriff, we have the dragon. Can you ride a phoenix? Probably not,
It can
right?
carry you
Oh,
by
yeah.
its talons. It has like super strength.
Yeah.
Kind of like an ant.
Can we do like Dumbledore, just like quick teleport? Just have it.
Abraxans drink whiskey,
Have a.
so I'll probably have it at Braxton as well.
I'll take a whiskey
A
for me and a whiskey
wyvern.
for my little Abraxan.
One for you.
We also have not, so we've only discussed flying mounts because I mean, I guess that is the specific prompt, but there's also potential for a not flying. So on the
unicorn?
ground. You want to ride a unicorn?
Yeah. You don't?
Wouldn't you be afraid that people would like, that would put an instant target on your back?
No, it'd be
Well, I guess
like
we already have a target on our
having
back.
a
Unicorns, people want the unicorn blood
epic. Yeah, well, yeah.
and horns and stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll dodge them.
What
like
else?
A permanent jousting.
Zoos
Graphorn.
are the fastest.
Zoos, yeah.
But
What
they
is
are
the zoo
native
again?
to China.
This is
They're like the
from-
lion, yeah, Fantastic Beast where we see them.
In the second one,
Yeah, they're like
the big like.
I don't. It's like a lion, but it has like I don't know how to describe it. How would you describe a zoo? It can run. Apparently, I looked this up. It can travel 1,000 miles in a day. Though I guess that doesn't really tell me anything. 1,000 miles. What is 1,000 miles from here? I don't know. I have no sense of distance. I don't know. But zoos are fast.
Texas.
We might not encounter them though because they are native to China. What about graphorns?
Yep, graphorns.
I already said this to you, but I don't think we can ride a centaur.
No,
That's a being. That's like not something that seems
maybe
allowable.
I'll be able to jump on it, and the physics they'll. Shake
Maybe
me out.
if you were injured, they'd be like, "Okay, I'll help you." Like,
Firemen's carry you.
oh yeah, they
But
could
then
do
just
that.
on their
I
back.
was thinking like I could ride on the centaur,
Stack
but they
'em
could just
on there.
carry me.
Yeah, that could carry you.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's a
Swing it
reverse
over.
centaur.
I'm running out of creature. Well, I'm not running out. I also do not have my Fantastic Beast book
Well, what
in
about
front
like
of me.
underwater ones? Maybe we can ride like a dolphin.
Oh, maybe not a dolphin,
Okay.
but kelpies were
dolphin.
in Fantastic Beasts.
A mermaid. They'll hold your hand and pull you along.
Mm.
Some kind of magical seahorse.
Now I'm thinking of Grindylows, like just trying to eat you in the Black
I'm not
Lake.
saying it's for sure, but you know, maybe a griffin.
Chimera.
Ooh,
What is a Lucrata? I don't
do
know.
not know.
See, there's many creatures and beasts in the wizarding world. I wonder which ones.
Maybe there'll be new ones.
Do you think they would add new creature? Like, you know how there's new mounts and stuff, and
Oh, later?
yeah, like
I don't know. It depends on if they're
here's
planning to do patches that way.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, or expansions. Yeah,
That is true.
could be.
Elk-like creatures with huge mouths. Oh yeah, though that was also a fantastic piece. I remember near the end of Wizards Unite when
What
they
about the
had
one
the
in the most
Portkeys.
recent one that like bowed,
The chillin'.
chillin',
Oh my
chillin'?
god.
What a great name.
I need to eat it.
It's just chillin'.
It's so cute. I need to
What
eat
is
it.
that? A graphorn? No, it's just chillin'.
Or a Jeffrey, everyone. Yeah, I mean, I think even though I'm not when I think about
Alchemy.
Hogwarts Legacy, I'm not like, oh, alchemy. Yeah. When I think about Hogwarts Legacy, I'm not immediately like, yeah, let me tend to creatures. I mean, in
Yeah.
part I
Nor am
am
I.
like I like having a companion, but the like in terms of activity, I think I will be more excited for
Story. Yeah.
puzzles, yeah, and
Puzzles.
potentially combat in order to complete quests. Like quests are my main priority
Maybe
of
there'll be
things that I
some
need
good,
to do.
beast related quests.
Yeah, and I would like to have. I like having mounts for, travel purposes, but also to have like a little cute thing or something that can battle with me, like having a little companion. It didn't say
Squirtle.
that. You want a Squirtle?
Yeah,
Oh.
of course. In real life.
It did say that you could have a familiar that would defend you. Because in Skyrim, especially so tomorrow, I'm gonna try again to do the mod with the Deathly Hallows one. I can summon a. Is it called summon familiar? Is that the spell?
I'm not sure.
You summon it and it like goes and it fights for you. Like
Mm.
that's the spell. And it's on a cooldown, so it's not infinitely like
Just
it.
spam them.
Oh no, I want all my
That's what
creatures.
Zir and I were doing to you in the game. We were just summoning cows left and right, and
Yeah.
some other people as well participating.
If they, I'm gonna say this like every time until they do it. Hogwarts Legacy developers, please let the game be
Crowd
moddable
control.
so we can have crowd control. Look, okay, this is I always do this in the middle of anything. I'm like, yeah, let's go back to talking about our lives. So we put our coins in Coinstar to like get a bunch of
Oh yeah.
money, and there's options because you can get gift cards. And I
Oh yeah.
saw one of the options was Steam, and I was like, Jeff, I need the Steam so I can like pay for Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have credit in my wallet now because all of our coins that we put in the Coinstar
And I
machine.
said you should just use it before then, because there's gonna be other games you want, but
Nope.
you're very specific. You want
Nope.
to save it for that.
I have Game Pass. There's plenty of games in my backlog. I am
That's
saving
true.
it for Hogwarts Legacy.
True.
All right. So that's all that I
That
really
was great.
prepared for mounts and caring for stuff. So let's pull
Oh yeah, we get to pull.
next
Oh,
time.
what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Magical
Oh, I
Theory
almost showed it to the
podcast
camera.
time. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. Oh, I think that'll be fun.
We're probably gonna be up next week, so we'll do it the regular
Yeah. I'll
cadence.
I'll get advisement from Jeff. Now that we've done what, 3 now? For giving clues because I want you to figure it out, but I
Participating.
also don't want to like just I mean, this might take the 3 clues.
It might. It
I don't
might.
know.
We'll
Y'all are
see. We'll
clever,
see. We'll
so
see. We'll see.
we'll see.
We still haven't looked up whether or not. Well, we didn't we say Neville, I think, for one of them. I was gonna say whether we're using
Oh,
proper nouns or not.
it's our
No.
rules, our game. Our game,
Okay.
our rules.
Sounds good. Does this mean it's time to transition to magical
Oh, it
theory?
is Magical Theory podcast time. I don't have a wand, but wands. My finger is ready. Ancient magic
One's
ready.
Yeah. Turn to page 564. The Dream. Today's lesson is called Or the Dreamer. The chapter begins with our trio recapitulating the madness of Mr. Crouch. Theories soar, but nothing sticks. Sirius replies with god-parental panic and caution. The trio has an awkward run-in with the twins, who seem to have stressors of their own, but both groups are tight-lipped. In Divination, Harry falls asleep and has a lucid dream of Voldemort scolding Wormtail, but declaring his mistake cleaned up because a person was dead. When he awakes, he finds an extremely interested Trelawney, but insists instead that he simply has a headache. That being Harry. He excuses himself from the class But instead of seeing Madam Pomfrey, he goes to Dumbledore's office. He manages to guess the password and overhears Dumbledore talking with Fudge until Moody interrupts them with acknowledgement of Harry's presence. End of chapter.
Yeah, that ending was like so dramatic.
By the way,
I was
Dreamer
like, oh
the Dreamer, also a nice little call out for Calamity.
Oh yeah, since your mic is on, do you want to like say something about Calamity?
No, I don't know.
No, okay.
Constance.
Exandria Unlimited.
Yeah, Exandria Unlimited.
Critical Role.
Yeah, just enjoyed that line.
We have another mention that you cannot disapparate. Actually, it's mentioned twice.
No, Hermione's
in this
like,
chapter.
Guys, come on.
How many times am I going to say this? Yeah. Like, you cannot apparate, disapparate.
And then Moody's like, Foodie is like, oh, hey.
Foodie. He's like,
you should be an Auror.
You should be an Auror. I love how he's like, you should be an Auror. You should be an Auror. Ron's like, ah! And he's just like, yeah, possible. It's possible that's a possible. Like, he doesn't even say anything. Yeah.
You should think about it. Think about something else.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I love the scenes where we have our little best friends and they're just trying to figure it out. I mean, they've had different moments throughout this book because there was a moment in this book that I was like, oh my gosh, we have been reading this book forever. Granted that we've taken several breaks throughout the book, but
yes,
I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Order of the Phoenix will be
it's
a refreshing moment for the podcast.
No wonder they split the movies into part 1, part 2 for Deathly Hallows. No, anyway, so yeah, I love also the way that you see little glimpses of Ron's apprehension about you know who, and he's just like nervous even to like bring it up because he's like, you know, we've been avoiding it for so long, but like I think in the back of their minds they know like something is going on with Harry and
something's going on.
Voldemort. And
I mean, come on. Clearly these are real.
I love how the kids are like, you know, concerned about it and nobody else seems to have a care in the world about it.
No.
Speaking of kids, well, almost adults, Fred and George they have a more prominent scene in this where there has been stuff going in the background this whole time. And
Ron knows some of it because he hung out with them when
I know that I don't like this book because of the teenage angst and awkwardness, but I love the moments between Ron and Harry because I'm just like, oh, you just need to express yourself and like say how you feel. Even though it's awkward. It's like the first time, like your best friend for however many years, and like you get into a fight enough that you don't speak to each other for some period of time. Yeah, like it's a big deal.
Yeah. Little 14-year-olds.
Fred and George are kind of like blowing off Ron and being like, okay, whatever, you keep talking this way, like you're gonna be a prefect. And Ron's like, no, I won't. And it's like, oh, buddy, narrator. We'll wait and see.
I kind of forgot this chapter in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, I think because the movie doesn't have it.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's hard to do everything, like to translate a book exactly because there's so much dialogue and it takes up so much time to like perform that on screen. But there's like a lot of good moments that aren't present in the movies that show kind of like more of the context, the dynamic, the relationships and all of that. And this is for sure one of them.
I mean, once you start cutting out the work that has to go along with taking out entire characters means you take out entire pieces of storylines. You have to completely reshape them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Mr. Crouch experience in the movie is completely different.
Yeah.
He's basically lucid. Then he sees Foodie do his like lip licking thing, and then he gets killed. And then it immediately cuts to, so Harry doesn't have a conversation with him about this, like, because he's not in, there is no madness of Mr. Crouch. He's just seems to be normal.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, it is. They don't actually resolve how Barty Crouch Jr. is alive. They don't resolve it in the movie. He's just alive.
He's just there.
Yeah.
That's basically his role. He's just
I'll show
there.
you mine if you show me yours. Harry, your arm.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which is fine. You have to do that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you just can't monologue everything and exposition everything in the movie. It would be really boring.
No,
But
no.
in the book, it really works because it's a mystery. So you have all these clues, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like, what is going on here? What is Crouch talking about? And like, why is he so crazy? Why is he talking about his son? Because even Harry even says it seemed like he thought his wife and son were alive. So
Yes.
you're even like getting a clue, a huge
Yeah,
clue. I
yeah.
mean, really is like at the heart of it.
Yeah. It's interesting. So again, like so coming we got the context of what what are we talking about with Crouch, his wife, and his son. Like there was a specific incident, and so we got like as the readers got that context, that story and whatever. And it's coming through in different ways. It's coming through obviously through what Crouch is saying, like there's weird stuff going on there. But it's also coming through with this other dynamic with Percy again being mentioned. So in the previous chapter, we got the sort of when they learned about it, they're like, oh, I don't know, Percy might,
Let's ask
hypothetically, like
Percy.
Percy
Yeah.
might like do something like that, kind of putting Percy closer to Crouch in that sort of, I don't know, characterization. And then here it's actually it accelerates a bit more because then we're talking in some it's still hypothetical but more in a grounded specific case of Fred and George if they are trying to blackmail people. That is a serious offense. Hermione is making
I
a
like they
distinction about,
threaten
the law
Ron
and all this stuff. Yeah.
with
Uh-huh.
being like a prefect.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a brotherly dagger to toss at Ronald. It's like a very that's
Yeah.
that,
Well, but so part of in this discuss after they leave, part of this discussion of like, should we do something about this? And the suggestion
about
of talking to
Fred and
Percy
George.
about Fred and
Yeah,
George.
yeah.
Oh, we should go to Percy, and Ron immediately is like, no, we can't
Yeah.
because, and it's like such an like it's an acceleration, but not in a like inconceivable way. Like I can see the logic, I can see that
No,
hesitation,
yes. Right.
and yeah, I just wrote yikes in my notes. I was like, oh no, this
Well,
is
it's a lack of faith on Ron's part that Percy would do anything but make it worse. Like
yeah.
he's not actually going to help resolve the problem,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably true.
It is. It's
He would
also
probably
kind of
make it worse.
scary because it's like you see that sort of fracturing or that what is it called a stress fracture when you break a bone but it's not like broken where it's like you kind of see it like it's
Often from
starting.
repetitive use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's like starting to see a little crack where it's like okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Instead of like
Percy's evolution, especially through Harry's eyes, is really interesting because
mm,
when Percy was physically present with Harry, I think Harry liked him
mhm.
generally.
Mhm.
Hermione definitely does. But now that he's not present and it's more like these written interactions or secondhand comments about him, like
Yeah.
Harry doesn't have that regrounding of like, yeah, I think you guys are a little hard on him. Like maybe somebody
Yeah, and
should
what
reach
is
out to
he
him.
supposed to say
And
to
if
that?
nobody
Like
ever asks him for
yeah.
help, then he's not connected to the
Nope.
family either.
Nope.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is, it's hard to justify, or it's hard to rationalize, like, why do these things happen? People are just different.
Mhm.
But sometimes people have to take the first step, you have to take the leap of faith. Maybe you should ask,
Yeah.
even if in the short term he would make something worse, potentially. It
Yeah.
may be that it's worse by your perspective, but he actually is going to do something that you're not considering. Like maybe he opens an investigation or
Mhm.
tells their parents,
Yeah.
because it doesn't seem like Ron even considers telling the parents too much. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that would also be worse. This is
Yeah.
the classic kind of kid perspective, right?
Mhm.
Of like
Mhm.
you do, because punishment often flows in that direction from like elders to younger, then it's like, well, we need to solve it on our own because otherwise we'll get into worse trouble.
Mhm.
They might be right, but it's complicated.
Tell somebody. Speaking of telling someone.
Dumby?
Well, okay, before that we have like Sirius.
Serious. Oh
Sirius's
my
note.
God.
He's like
I had
lecturing
an eye
Harry
roll.
and all this stuff and he's
Big eye
like
roll.
swear that you're not gonna walk around. And I'm like, bro, this is the kid who always says, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good.
He literally fought a bunch of Dementors last year for you.
Oh my gosh. And so yeah, there's this whole
It's not
thing,
the right type
and
of advice because it falls on deaf ears.
well, yeah,
You have
yes.
to know who you're advising to
Yeah.
give good advice.
Yeah, and
teach.
to be fair, Sirius is like, he's panicked.
He's
like,
panicked.
So
He's full on panicked.
he doesn't have time to be like, oh, what is the best way to reach Harry? I'm just gonna like directly say in my like, don't do
anything.
this. Yeah, don't do this at all. Oh my goodness. And all of this, we are leading up to the third task.
Yep.
And Harry reaches out to Foodie, who he thinks is Moody, and Foodie, fake Moody.
I just had a moment.
Yes.
So part of the joy of this story is the execution of a nefarious plot, which is very actually similar to EXU's Calamity, which is essentially you convince people that the evil, in this case Voldemort, is trying to kill you. It doesn't want you to succeed in the tasks, when actually the opposite is true. And Voldemort's entire plan is for Harry to win the Triwizard Tournament, not to die during it.
Yeah.
And it's similar to Calamity. There was that moment of like the bad guys trying to convince them that they didn't want the city to land, that you'll never reach the Wild Mother's embrace or whatever. So essentially trying a plan that convinces the protagonist to do the opposite. Right? It's really great. It's a good plan. It's a really good plan because, like,
well,
especially when we
knows
know
what is
who
happening
Foodie is,
right
and he's
now.
like, "No, you got to focus on the task."
Oh
bro.
my gosh, there's
Don't
a
worry
lot.
about it.
Yeah, he's like, you got to focus.
Just focus up.
Because
Don't
this
wanna
is where
die,
Ron
do
is
you?
trying to be like impressive, and he's like, oh, Hermione and I helped him and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just like, Ron, okay, go be an Auror if you want. Like,
Poor
it's
Ron.
fine. It's
Oh,
I know, but this is the story of his life, as he always gets
He
ignored.
just wants
He wants
his proportion of credit.
Yep.
And then he goes nuts and says that he fought off a bunch of things underwater.
Oh,
when
Ron.
He was
Oh,
unconscious.
Ron. Oh, Ron. So Harry's trying to desperately learn Stupefy because he's a fourth year student. He is not, the age he's supposed to be competing against these other students. So they're studying their stuff, and then we have this whole thing in Divination. Harry topples over. I'm sure it's a scene. Like I can't imagine. I mean, everything in Trelawney's class is a scene, I feel like.
I could picture her just like,
Yeah, just like looking at him being like, oh, let me study you. And finally, I wrote this, like all caps, finally, Harry's like, hey, maybe I should tell Dumbledore something about anything I am seeing, and this is not normal, whatever. So he goes up and overhears some conversations. Fudge is not nice. You're gonna show your prejudice towards giants, half giants, and
it's just so nonsensical. It makes no sense.
Dumbledore is so calm. Like the way it's written is like he's. I mean, he says calmly and actually says calm. I'm assuming we don't see this scene play out in the movie.
Minister.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he screams at him too in the movie.
Just yelling at him.
And then you have the end of the entire chapter where it's just kind of like, oh, Potter's waiting at the door. He's here. Here you go.
This conversation is no longer private.
So many things
Harry.
are happening.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I feel like we're like...
It's a shorter chapter,
we're
but
like
this is... No, yeah, we don't have many more left.
Yeah, because we're about to be in the maze and then
oh my
we're in
God.
the graveyard.
I can't.
Then it's a quick...
I know what's going to
finish.
happen. Robert Pattinson is going to die.
Yes.
Oh no. I still can't watch that movie scene. It just not the scene where the killing is really quick, but the actual like
When Amos reacts.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, it's great acting. It's fantastic acting.
Cannot.
It's called anguish, and
It is the embodiment of. I'm just like, oh my god, how did it reverberate into
like
my
a
soul?
weird, like it's just so guttural and instinctual. It's not plotted out. It's just like
Yeah. I can't.
Kind of like Voldemort's laugh.
So is the dreamer or the dream
more important?
Yeah.
The dreamer is more important. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
It's not even close.
But the dreamer can die.
Yeah.
You need other people to...
The dream will carry on, and people have new and better dreams. No, it's fine.
Oh.
The dreamer is more important.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's me.
Let us know in the comments down below. What is more important?
Very people-oriented.
The dreamer or the dream?
Yeah.
That's all that I have. Oh, we know.
One is yes. Okay.
No, you keep going. Go ahead. Yeah.
You have to have dreamers in order to have dreams. So one is a precursor of another. So that automatically makes it more important. All the importance of a dream relies on there being a dreamer. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see it, but I think that my reaction is more of like the individual is not as important as the overall like vision is like how I was thinking about it. But I do understand that the reason why you call like the dreamer is where I'm talking in an aspirational sort of imaginative sense.
Right.
The reason it's important is because it is unfortunately so rare, like that sort of kind of embodiment.
Well, I think that if you really wanted to mix with it, and we can go out on this note, we'd go on for miles and miles, but you have dream and dreamer, but you also have dreaming, and I think that's another interesting piece of it, right? So like when I think about the dream as divorced from people, as if the dream itself has the value, when I talk about the dreamer being more valuable, it's because they are the ones who are able to dream. So if dream has value, then it's all derived from the dreamer being able to do so.
I can see it.
Anywho, we'll leave you on that light note.
Just a light
We're talking about
Amos. Note. We're just like, oh, da da da.
That's it.
It plays on the sound alerts enough. I should know it by now. Until next time. One.